Welcome. Let me see, am I unmuted? No, I'm not unmuted. Hello. Who do we got here? On? Oh my God, that's a voice of an angel. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? I'm talking to you guys too. You guys can answer.
Oh, you're talking to me. I thought you were talking to chat.
If you guys want. You guys don't have to answer if you don't want to. You're doing good? All right, yes, so for everyone for everyone who doesn't know, we got Christian ABAD today as our guest, episode 2 on this very important episode 2 of Cock Talk. And obviously you got my co-host on the right hand side. Those of you know who he is. His name is Joel. You guys got him right there, Mr. Youngster Joey.
What do you do? Glad to be here.
So let's go ahead and basically kick things off already. I already mentioned to them that today's episode obviously is a little bit more important with the donations and all that stuff. So if you guys would support, I'd really appreciate that. It means a lot. Like I said, everything's going to be matched. Everything's going to be going to the right place. So it's really important to myself and everybody also that we have on here. So ABAD,
what's up?
Tell us a little bit about yourself, buddy. I mean, we know you, but for the most part, you know, I want everybody to get a little bit a better of a sense for you.
Well, my name is ABAD. I have no first name. Yeah, work at American Express doing software engineering. I'm a big nerd. Don't leave my house ever. I don't know why I'm the big guest in such a big episode because I'm not that interesting. But I'm here because I didn't want to get sued, so. Or I didn't want to get fined. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I mean, in all honesty, but I had chosen you before I had made this a donation episode. But
oh, I do want to give one shout out before we start. I want to shout out Alfredo, Mr. Dilly My Dally in the chat. He's serving me up these drinks right now. So shouts out Dilly My Dally.
Yeah, I wouldn't be drinking right now. So I had enough of that last night. Everyone should have a beer in hand right now. Yeah, everyone can have a beer in hand. That's not me. I had enough last night. So you already introduced yourself. What would you say your relationship is with me and Joel?
So I'll start with Javi or Perdomus. So I met Javi in high school. We met pretty much playing baseball. And actually, I'm gonna tell this story right now off the bat. So I didn't really know him. I didn't really know him that well, and I was practicing with varsity, and then I'd play like JV, like every so often.
Slight flex.
You know. And my first game pitching in JV, right? I threw a no-hitter through 6 innings, right? And then my coach is like, "Hey, look, I don't want to blow out your arm. You know, it's the beginning of your whole high school career, so it's fine. We'll end your day here, and then we'll put someone else to finish the game." So I had, mind you, a no-hitter. First thing Javi does when he comes up to pitch, gets a home run hit off of him. First pitch. And that's how I knew who Javi was after that. That's how I met him. And then this obnoxious teammate of mine ended up growing on me, and now he's one of my best friends. So, yeah.
Facts. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, I think you knew me a little bit before that, but I think that's like your first real memory of me. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And Joel, I met through Javi. So we would go play. I think the first time I met Joel was playing basketball outside their house after like one of our practices. And Joel is like also, he's probably my best friend and like closest thing to a brother. So we might fight with each other, but yeah.
Fighting, I think, is a light word on that one.
True.
Okay. So also, I one of my earliest like recollections I have of ABAD is I'm pretty sure I would say it was freshman year, where me and Joel, we would walk around during lunch, and obviously I knew ABAD because of baseball, but me and Joel would walk around during lunch and we just go through all these different groups of people and talk to them every here and there, and ABAD was just sitting in that little roundabout, like that half circle there in school, with a bunch of freaking weirdos, in my opinion. And I was I was like, okay, I'll just go say hi to ABAD. We'll talk to him there. And then that's how Joel got introduced to ABAD as well. And Obviously,
ABAD was hanging out with the biggest nerds before us, bro. Thank God we met him.
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
say
Changed
it.
him.
I didn't say
If
it.
not, this
Those are
dude,
the boys.
man, he wouldn't be
Yeah.
where he's at today if it wasn't for us. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Oh, I've been saying, and I hope chat can agree with me on this one, but ABAD, I've been saying this. He looks exactly like Justin Verlander. Let me see. Hold up. Let me bring up a pic real quick. Hold up.
Yeah.
I don't know with the beard. It's too long right now to tell.
Hold on, guys. Yeah, Justin Verlander, in my opinion, he looks exactly like him. Do I have the right? I hope I have the right one on. I do. Perfect. Okay. Can we zoom in? I can't zoom in.
Make the picture bigger.
Yeah. But basically, I mean, for a lot of you guys who don't
Look
know
at
him, right here.
Look at that.
I think you're covering me with.
Oh yeah, hold up.
Exactly. That's the point. We're talking to Justin Verlander, not Christian ABAD.
Right? Look at this.
There
Look
it is.
at this. Tell me that that's not. I mean, obviously, Ava's got the beer right now, but they look identical. They look identical.
That's my
they really
father.
So, yeah. So I've been saying that ever since freshman year. I just wanted to throw that out there. I saw someone in chat mention that. Okay. So, I think since we're on the topic of sports already, I don't know. Just get into that. What sport do you feel like you want to see come back already? Like, is there any particular? And it goes to both of you, by the way.
That's easy. League of Legends, 100%. No, I'm just messing around with you guys. No, it's for real. Like, basketball was the sport that I'd followed the most. So probably basketball.
Basketball, Joel?
No, it's got to be the NFL, man. Dolphins are on the up and up. On the up and up. Let me tell you, man.
I would agree with that.
These guys are in the Super Bowl in the next 5 years, bro. You think about all the things we got. We got a Brian Flores, great head coach, right? You know, he came in and he wasn't expected to do much. He had a shit roster, right? And came in, won 5 games when everyone was calling it the worst abomination of an NFL roster the league has ever seen. And so he came in, won us 5 games against the Patriots, nonetheless, at home, Gillette Stadium. Everything on the line, and we got the dub in Foxborough to take the Patriots out the bye week. We got a coach in Brian Flores, man, and then we got all the acquisitions. We got Kyle Van Noy. We got what's his name, Howard, the running back, 25 years old. Let's just say that. We got Eric Flowers, offensive tackle out of Washington Redskins, or Washington Racial Slurs, I should say, and. And you know, obviously, Byron Jones on the cornerback. We got Byron Jones on the cornerback. You know, to complement Xavier Howard. We got the nickel corner out of the draft. I forgot his name, Ignobi or something like that. Brian Flores likes to play a lot of man coverage, and the league is in a place where we're moving more and more to man coverage, and the Dolphins got their 3 guys to man cover in the secondary, and I'm telling you, we're gonna do big things. I am excited for the NFL.
I would agree with that, but there's just one thing that, like, the NBA was actually so interesting this year, and they just cut it off right at the middle. Like, there's so many teams that are like competing to win that like championship. So that's like, I think, I mean, I'm super excited to see what the Dolphins do, but like, just the whole thinking of who could win, and everyone's healthy right now. They've had like 2 months, 3 months of break, right? So a fully healthy Clippers, like Paul George is not injured anymore, or shouldn't be injured anymore. Like, against a fully stacked like Lakers, like I just want to see that, right? Like, this is something we couldn't see from before. So
no doubt. I mean, like, it got cut off halfway, and I think this was like the first time in a long time we had like parity in the NBA, where anybody could have won it. I mean, the Heat started off doing great, and then they kind of got into a slump at the end, but we're still in the 4th spot. But it feels like even they could win any 7-game series, even against the Bucks.
I'd probably argue that the Heat have a good chance now, especially since we're like a, you know, very grindy like team that, you know, we just work harder than everyone else, as that's like our motto, right? Like the Heat culture. But like, coming back to it, it's really just like 8-9 games and then into the playoffs. Right. So if we work harder than everyone else, we have probably the chance to like get to peak form quicker and, you know, surprise a lot of teams, which is like something that gets me excited, because obviously I want to see the Heat win again.
Yeah, I really think the Heat have a good chance, even being in the 4th spot, because the Eastern Conference is so wide open.
Yeah.
It's, to me, honestly, I got a good chance. I mean, I think they got a good chance of making it to the finals, though. I do not think they will win the championship because I think, honestly, the Lakers are going to take this off. If they continue where they left off on that last one, and the last game that they had just right before quarantine, it's over. It's over for the league. Bron's getting his 4th.
I would generally agree, but we have never seen LeBron take such a like break, because he's forced to take a break during this whole time, right? And he's probably going to be put up against a team that's equally as stacked and probably deeper in the bench, right? So maybe they don't have the best player in the world, which obviously LeBron is the best player in the world. There's no arguing that. But like,
Facts.
I think about the Clippers as the second best team, and I see them like the full roster, and they're just better overall, I feel like.
Yeah,
The
they're definitely
Clippers?
deeper, I would say.
Yeah, I think like, as discounting the top 2 players, so I think obviously like the pair of LeBron and AD are better than Paul George and Kawhi, but as a full team, I think the Clippers are probably better, and that's what I want to see. I want to see like both of them fully healthy going at it and like trying to make the finals.
I mean,
No doubt.
I don't think the Clippers are gonna beat the Lakers. I think it'll be a good series, but it won't even be close. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
I mean, I do.
A 7-game series, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think the
yeah.
Clippers are definitely, they're built better all around, and they're a lot deeper. I mean, the
And
Lakers
don't get me wrong. I do want to see, like, if it's not the Heat, I want to see LeBron win, because I want to shut those Jordan over LeBron haters up. But
Yeah.
cough, Mikey. But yeah.
So for those of you guys who don't know, Mikey is a very big advocate on Jordan being GOAT, no matter what. Obviously, a lot of you guys, I don't know if a lot of you have actually seen the whole Jordan documentary and all that stuff. I haven't finished it, but you know, Mikey is one of the biggest advocates for him. So in my personal opinion, this was going to be a question later on, but we might as well go into it right now. I mean, I see what Jordan has done. I see his accomplishments. I see the statistics, but I think that there's so much more behind the statistics. I believe in statistics, but there is so much more behind that. Like, you don't see that in the statistics.
But the thing is that even if you look at the statistics, like, everything is weighing on. No, well, I can't say everything, right? Obviously, the championships are in Jordan's favor, but like, youngest player to score X amount of points has always been LeBron. Like, if you look back at anyone in history, assists, I think he has higher assists, rebounds, pretty much everything across the board. He's like higher stats like at the age group that they were in, right?
So,
and this dude is still playing at that level. What is it? 16 years, 17 years into the league?
I think this is 16th or 17th.
Yeah.
Let me stop you right there. I forgot to mention, we did get our first donation. It was $10 from Bulin Balada, and he said he had a question for ABAD again. So first off, thank you so much. For those of you guys, I saw you guys were asking where's the donation link. You donate at the bottom of my page. It says donate. It's linked to my PayPal, and everything is going to go, like I mentioned, to the organizations that I want to go ahead and spread that out to. So the first $10, I'm matching it up to $250, by the way, and the goal is obviously to get 1,000. Not sure if we'll get to the 1,000, but obviously that's the goal. Again, it's at the bottom of the page. You have to go to the it's a link, it's a picture. You click the picture and it'll take you there. If you're on mobile, you have to go, I think it's in the top. You have some labels at the top. You click it and it's going to take you to everything that would, I think it's like information or something like that. Yeah, who would you say is your MVP? Because I in my opinion, in the whole LeBron and Jordan talk, yeah, going back to that real quick, I saw a video that one of our friends had posted, and it actually really went super in depth into LeBron and Jordan's careers, up until, even including everything up until now. And I couldn't argue against everything, but everything was statistics, right? And everything was obviously pointing to Jordan, everything, literally. But I just think they're two completely different types of players. There, you got Jordan, who's more of a killer instinct. He's going to go ahead and just destroy you, scoring the ball. Defensively, he was also an animal. We can't put that aside either. Yeah. But LeBron, to me, I think, like, Jordan doesn't make everyone around him better. He pushes them to be better. That's the difference, right? He pushes them to be better, which is great. It's a leader quality.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at... I can't say anything because I haven't seen the documentary, the Jordan documentary, but and I know like I've heard people talk about this, how like Jordan's love for the game and his passion made people around him like have that hunger. But I think like LeBron, his selflessness and the ability to just like make everyone around him like grow like naturally. He doesn't even have to try to motivate them. It's just like he just has something about him, his knowledge for the game and his like willingness to like actually help his teammates. Like you don't see that from like Jordan. Jordan was very selfish, and people like were inspired by that, but he didn't go out of his way to inspire his teammates, right? That's just how he was. He's like a Kobe type player, right? Kobe never went out of his way to be like, oh yeah, like you should be doing. Well, maybe he did, but he didn't like do it often, right?
Yeah.
LeBron every day he'll sit with like younger players and like he'll just like try to make the team better.
He's a mentor in a lot of ways. He
and I think like these other players just didn't like. They would be mentors, but they wouldn't go out of the way like LeBron did. And aside from that, if you look at the stats, it's like they're almost neck and neck. Like LeBron is actually majority, like almost that. So there's no argument there. I feel like.
And you can sit here and like nitpick stats all day. You know what I'm saying? I can go in and look for stats that are gonna make LeBron better and make Jordan better. But at the end of the day, man, you got to do the eye test, bro.
Yeah.
The sniff test.
So actually, now that you mentioned the eye test, in that video that I saw, he actually didn't mention an eye test, but this isn't an eye test of like it's more of what you're saying of going along the lines of what is he doing for everybody around him, and like when you're watching them play, what is it? Or I could see why people are so stuck on Jordan, but when you see what LeBron does, I'm telling you, like the thing it doesn't make sense to me how someone can continue.
Jordan is just more flashy, right? But if you look at pure like just getting the most like what's it called, field goal percentage and stuff, like LeBron could just come in 6'6" or 6'8", whatever he is, 2-something pounds. He's just gonna drive it in, and who's gonna stop that most of the time, right? Like LeBron had to do all these crazy things, and to his like credit, like he did, and he scored a lot of the times, but LeBron just did it easier, and he's able to do it easier. So that's why he's gonna be able to have like a longer career in general, right? Like he could do all these things like with ease.
Right, and he can play the game how he wants to play the game. You know, if he wants to go in and score 60 on you, he can. If he wants to go in and get 20 assists and 30 rebounds, he can, and score 0 points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's funny. I do want to dispel though a very famous what a lot of people say about LeBron and his defense, about the fact that he can guard 1 through 5, which he can, but the amount of times that he's actually guarded a center and actually guarded a point guard are actually really minimal. I forgot the statistic, but the guy that in the video really went in depth. I wish I still had the video on hand, but I don't. But it's really good. Like it doesn't show. Like I want you guys to see it because you guys will actually maybe think twice. So going to the MVP question, who do you guys think is the MVP of the season? I see someone here. Space Zeros mentioned. Do you think Giannis from the Bucks will end up being the next LeBron?
I don't think anybody's gonna be the next LeBron. I think if you look at LeBron, like everyone compared him to Jordan, right? But he's not the same type of player as Jordan. And
Kobe was
like
the same type of player as Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. But like I don't know, I would have never considered Kobe like the great, right? Like it was still Jordan at that time.
He was
so,
definitely
the
number
next.
2.
Yeah, like the next like
guards.
the next great, right? The next like person challenging that throne is like it's gonna be someone that we haven't seen yet, and that's like gonna change the game like forever, pretty much. Like I would argue that like obviously not Steph Curry, but like the way Steph Curry changed the game and like with like shooting all the threes, like they're gonna bring that element to like the game. So
to the game. Well,
so they have to change it to that extent. I get you.
Yeah.
Well,
a significant impact.
Yeah, actually. In that regard, I mean, I feel like Giannis is changing the game. You know, he's like a 7-footer who's handling the ball. I feel like that would be the next
generation.
I guess
like
the next generation
and all that.
Porzingis, Durant, Giannis, like these 7-footers, and I think Giannis can definitely reach that, but until he develops a jump shot, because also another thing you got to think about is, man, like everyone's shooting threes.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry. Let me stop you right there. We got a couple more donations real quick.
Oh yeah.
Larkham donated $10. Thank you so much. And Gianni also donated $5. Said, "Give ABAD a kiss for me." You can't. You're in his house, so.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, Joel. Sorry, just had to go ahead and.
Yeah, and unless Giannis would develop a jump shot, at the very least, a mid game. I don't think he'll be able to reach that level because all of a sudden it feels like the game just realized, you know what? These 3-pointers are kind of worth more than the 2-pointers. Like, so why are we gonna keep taking layups and jumpers?
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
and
Well, I got. Oh, sorry.
all
Go
of
ahead.
all of these offenses are revolving around like getting the open three, and they'd rather take a contestant three than an open jumper.
With all these players like shooting these like threes from like pretty much half court, do you guys ever think they'll like implement a 4-point rule or like a line?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I think that's gonna change. That would change it too much. And now
Because
It
like,
would change it too much. I mean,
yeah,
if,
I mean, I would agree. But basketball, like every sport has to adapt, and like it's gonna grow and change. Like all these rules, like they made rules just to counter like how Jordan was playing, right? Like there was a whole bunch of rules like
Yeah.
implemented, right? And I feel like eventually they see all these people like they're gonna be good enough to shoot from like over half court, right? Like so why not just implement that, make it more interesting?
Well, the Jordan rules were kind of made in his favor, I would say, because it made for more entertaining television, the hand check rule and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it made it easier for him to drive in, do all these crazy ass dunks and stuff like that. But if there is a league to do something as drastic as adding like a 4-point line, for example, it would be the NBA. So I don't know. That's interesting. I'm thinking about like how it would open it up and how the game would change. But I mean,
yeah.
I feel like
we got another donation. Etropics, thank you, $10 BLM.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, I feel like it would definitely be. I think it could work. I think it could work, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think like I would even argue that bigs would actually be more of an importance in that league. So it would just like I don't know.
Basketball has adapted in the past. I mean, 3-pointers didn't exist before. That's a good point, Pedro. Yeah. Let's talk about quarantine. Right? What's been your experiences during quarantine? I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that the donation. I thought I did. The first donation that we had, Brandon, he wanted to ask what happened to Daba.
Oh, all right. So that's a good question. So the thing is, I'm a boomer, and I don't have time to be. I can't say I don't have time.
First of all, what is Daba?
Oh, Daba. All right. Daba is my World of Warcraft character. Shout out to the people who play World of Warcraft.
Jesus.
Okay. Day My Dally, $25. Thank you so much. What can I do as your friend to be a better friend? What is your favorite aspect of friendship? Is that what you're asking me, or is that what you want me to ask?
Those are great questions.
Thank you so much, by the way. I appreciate it. Go ahead, continue, bud.
All right, so that's my World of Warcraft character, and I definitely don't want to put in as much time as all of them. And in return, those type of games, you need to put in that much time to perform, and I don't want it to be like a job where you have to log in and do like 3 hours every 2 days. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just cut it off, because even like when I'm playing like other games, like I don't know, I just rather play it by myself where I'm not like forced to like put in all that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll bring back Daba like later on though, for sure.
So getting to let's go ahead and answer Alfredo's question. What can I do as your friend to be a better friend, and what is your favorite aspect of friendship?
No, I think that first question is for you, Papa.
For me?
No, for Javi. And then
I don't know. This guy's serving me up drinks in my own house. He's cooking for me. There's nothing else he could do to be a better friend.
That's
honestly.
a pretty good friend, if you ask me.
That's too much already.
Okay. So, the quarantine experience. What have you guys been up to? Like, what is it? Like, how have you guys taken all this in?
Well, I feel like adapting was easy because we're the type of people who stay home anyway. So.
I mean,
I think this quarantine, what it did, it made Gianni, my girlfriend, more mad because it gave me more of an excuse to stay home and play video games. So,
yeah, I mean, like quarantine for me, not a lot has changed, but I am definitely getting tired of it. The first like 3 weeks, maybe even the first month, it was like, bro, piece of cake. Yeah. I was like, you can leave me here till the end of the year and I'll be happy, but it's definitely starting to weigh on me, man. Just the simple fact of like going to like, oh, bro, I'll take an Applebee's at this point, man. I just want to go out and just like sit at a table and maybe just have a beer. And
I feel like you're actually pretty lucky in the sense that I know you felt like it was like such a burden, but like going into work, Like, at least you got to leave. I know it sucks. I know it sucks. But even me, like, I used to always say, like, man, I wish I could just stay home and work from home. But like, it's not the same, right? Like, I don't know. I wish I could just go into the office like once or twice a week just to like get out
Facts.
sometimes, you know?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's just, and I'm stuck here for the rest of the year. So like, I
Oof.
just have to. There's some days that you wake up, right, and you log onto your laptop and you're just there like, damn, I just don't want to work today. And like, there's nothing that like, you know, usually when you go into work, you have your like coworkers there and they'll like motivate you or like push you to like do stuff or to work. At least in my case, they're like
Well, okay,
my
like I
coworkers
feel
will
you.
push me, but
There's definitely days, but like that's my thing. I go into work and it's the same shit. I go in, turn on my computer, and I'm like, wow, I have like no motivation to work today. So it happens in both, but I guess yeah, definitely getting out and just having like a different lunch every day, like being
That
able to like,
helps. I mean, I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie to you. So I'm loving quarantine for the most part. I'm not gonna
Yep,
lie. I
same.
mean, I do love working from home. I feel like not only is it good in general for the psyche and for mental aspects, but I mean, it's honestly, it's amazing just to be able to stay home, and I don't do anything dumb while I'm working. But like to be able to avoid traffic and anything, I mean, dumb as in like I'm not playing video games or anything like that while I'm here at work. I mean, at home. But it is just better being in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
I like I said, I really enjoy working from home. And to ABAD's point, if it were possible, I'd like to go maybe, you know, once or twice a week into the office. That would really help. But I've even tried convincing my dad, who obviously like has people who work under him, and I'm telling him, yo, you should definitely kind of implement this. You know, I want somebody in the company to go ahead and implement something, so that way maybe other people get ideas, and you know, we can spread that around, because I think that helps.
Yeah,
I want to stop something real quick. Gianni Delia said for $100 that she'll come into the room and give me a haircut. I will actually let that happen if someone donates $100.
What? What?
Oh, you know what?
I mean, I didn't get a haircut anyways.
Yo, don't say
but
that
this
too
is like
loud.
after the stream.
Don't say that too loud. I think Rico Javi's in here.
No.
Hey, shout out Rico Javi.
Quick question. I mean, not quick question. I wanted to say, for those of you who don't know where to donate, one more time, at the bottom of my page, if you are on the web, if you're on a computer, at the bottom of my page, you will see the donate. It's a picture. You click it, and it's going to take you directly to my page where you can donate. And if you're doing it on the web, you have to go on the actual app. If you're on the app, it's going to say clips, and it's going to say info. You click info, there's a picture, you click it, and it's going to take you right to the donation page. That's if you're doing it on the app, all right? As of right now, we got $60. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. Remember, everything's going to BLM organizations. So
I like to point out, I like to point out that Laura put in the chat that we all have the same chair, and I think that's hilarious.
Yes, we do. And all different colors too, like Power Rangers almost.
We're like the freaking Power Rangers, bro.
I cleaned the screen, don't worry. The other question I was gonna ask, I mean, maybe some of you guys touched up on it, but what is it that you guys are looking forward to the most coming back from quarantine?
Having some brews with the boys, for sure.
Bro, I'm going to Centro first thing. As soon as that shit opens up, I'm going to Centro, and we're going to El Patio, and we're going everywhere.
Joel wanting to go to Centro, that's kind of crazy.
Wait, he's gonna fall asleep like 20 minutes after being there, but he's gonna be there. All right.
I'm definitely looking forward to going out for sure, and being able to see you guys and hang out with you guys, because that's definitely the one thing I miss playing. I miss doing a lot of things. I miss playing sports in the outdoors. Obviously, I miss hanging out with you guys, and I want to party. I had a party in here by myself yesterday, and I got drunk as hell, and I don't know, it just wasn't the same.
Not as fun. Not as fun.
The same.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I like to shout out also Tony Cruz for making
an appearance.
An appearance in the chat. I think first time, long time, baby.
Yeah. What's up, Tony Cruz? T Cruz, what's up? All right, so going into video games, right? Because obviously this is Twitch is a platform that's used mostly for people streaming video games and all that, which hence is what I do. And I started the podcast off of the support that I've gotten from my stream. I felt like it would be best to start a podcast. It'd be fun. So with that, what is it that got you into video games? Because I know for myself, My earliest recollection of video games was playing on Nintendo 64 Madden with my dad, and that was really what got me, just starting to play video games in general. And then obviously throughout the years, everything has evolved, and I went from playing console now to PC. So what about you guys? What's like the earliest recollection you guys have?
You want me to
Go
go
ahead,
first?
Ben. No.
All right, so mine's is a little bit. Sorry. So first, my dad and my uncle would always play Madden when I was growing up, and I would always see them on the PS1, I believe. And also my dad, like when I was growing up, he would play a lot of like Age of Empires competitively, like online. So pretty much like
Your
what we do now. We
dad?
just like not like
Okay.
competitively, like super competitively, but like he would play like against other people like online. And growing up, I would play baseball like 6 days a week. So like whenever I was not playing baseball, that was like my escape of school and everything else. Also, I had very strict parents, so I couldn't go out as much as other people. So that was like my okay, I could do this and I have fun with this. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Bro, I mean, for me at least, there's so many I can name right off the bat. Like,
I got some experiences with you in video games.
well, yeah, but that's a conversation for another day. But like, I'm talking like I can look back, and I think when I look back, I think of NBA Live 06 with Javi. I think of Super Mario, Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet and Clank, Slugfest Loaded. You remember that one?
Oh my
Oh
gosh,
my-
where
that
they
brought
used to
back
fight.
memories.
Yeah, when they used to fight. Yeah.
Bro. That was a good game. Yeah, backyard basketball, those type of games.
Yeah, backyard sports in general.
Evelyn G,
Madden.
thank you for the $10 donation.
Shout out to
Appreciate
Pablo in the
it.
backyard
Oh,
sports.
nice.
Yeah,
But-
I when I think of games, like like I said, Madden was my first one for the Nintendo 64. I also remember playing the Spider-Man game that was for the Nintendo 64 and all that.
Oh yeah.
And that was very minimal. Then I moved on to the PS1. I never had a GameCube or anything like that. I moved on to the PS1. That I played a lot. But when I really realized how much I really liked games was when I first got my Xbox 360. That was like the first real. I remember it was Christmas. I got it, and it was COD 4 and Halo 3.
Wow.
Those were the games that I got with that, and that like just shot up my freaking Call of Duty 4 just did not let me get off.
I feel like some sports, part of me like kind of regrets being a PC gamer because I've been playing PC since like 5th, 6th grade. Actually, even before that with RuneScape, like in elementary school. But like when I met like all my base crew friends, like they all had 360, so it encouraged me to get 360. And man, was I late to the party? I got it when Halo Reach came out, but man, was it fun. Like
Biggie Rex, thank you for the $20 donation. I love you. Says no justice, no peace. Yeah, I agree, man. Xbox 360. Yeah. I mean, I think for the most part, we all went from PlayStation to Xbox at some point, back to PlayStation a little bit. I remember actually after Xbox 360, I remember you being a PlayStation guy, and I remember telling you like, bro, you gotta get on Xbox and all that. And funny enough, when PS4 came out, I switched from Xbox One to PS4. And I haven't changed back since, but I think I might go back. Joel, you're gonna say something?
Oh man.
No, yeah, I think everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people got their start like in Xbox 360. Like Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3 were like the epitome of gaming at that point.
Modern Warfare,
like
Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4, yeah.
I would counter that with all of us actually truly got our starts with Game Boys and Pokemon.
Okay.
If it wasn't with Game Boys and Pokemon, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know. Like, I met Max when I was like 5 or 6 in like his mom's ballerina shop, or like the dancing studio. Sorry, and we met because of Pokemon. We ended up becoming friends because of Pokemon. So like a lot of people, had that sting.
Yeah. Bro, I how could I even forget Pokemon, bro? I have so many vivid memories. I remember I couldn't catch a Groudon, and I had my cousin catch it for me in the middle of Monty's. Monty's bar? I think like it's by like, oh shoot, I don't even know where it's by, but it's like by like the water and stuff. But I remember vividly like him catching it for me, and it took me I think like 2 days to catch that fucking Groudon.
I also remember when I caught my Groudon too. That was,
bro, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy how video games leave that type of like impression on you.
Yeah. So the other question I was gonna ask, what's your favorite video game? Like, or better yet, what's your favorite franchise for the video games? Because obviously, if it's one specific video game, then sure. But if it's, oh my God, Gady donated $40. Thank you so much. I love you. That's my girlfriend.
Oh.
So
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? No, sorry.
No.
So yeah, what would you say is your favorite franchise?
Mine goes without question, so I'll leave it to Joel
Yeah.
first.
I mean, I know ABAD's answer, and mine are pretty similar: Pokemon and League of Legends.
Yeah, 100%. Those two.
Yep, super
Like,
easy. Super. I'm still
I've been
playing Pokemon
playing-
to this day, and
Yeah.
League, obviously.
To this day.
Till
To
this
this
day.
Yeah, I think for the most part, a lot of you guys can tell that mine is obviously COD. I've been a COD fanboy since I was COD 4, basically since was like 13 or something. I know ABAD had to convince me to join League, and I know you guys were all playing League, and I got into it our senior year of high school, so 2013. I remember being in the house here in my room, and we had like 4 or 5 people in my room, everybody on laptops, and we were trying to play it and trying to teach everybody. And I've been very inconsistent with League, but I would definitely say COD. And as much as I don't play it anymore, I still feel like Madden is one of my Madden and 2K. Both those games have had a huge effect on my childhood.
Yeah.
So
I like 2K a lot, but it's like I can't get with them. Like, I understand every year's a new season, new teams or whatever, but I can't stand with that every year a new game. Like,
yeah,
my player is always so much fun, and I'm always super like whenever I get one, I'm super motivated to do it. But it's like, God,
it got
I'm
stagnant.
gonna have to do this again next year, dude.
I have no idea how the Pro League works, but the freaking Pro League, like, there's no balance changes or anything like that. So it's literally always like the Warriors versus the Warriors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like some tournaments allow for like the same team to play against each other, but it's always like the 2 best teams. I remember like in Madden specifically, it was like everyone would always use the Seahawks because like I can't remember why, but I don't know. One of the defensive players was like maxed out and he was broken. So it's like there's no balance changes or anything. Like it just feels kind of like bland to me.
Oh, what would you guys say is your relationship with it, like with video games? Like I have my reason why, and I'll talk about it, but what would you say is like the reason why you play video games? Like what does it do for you?
I don't know. I play video games because like that's first off what I like that's just what I like doing. Like if I had to do anything for the rest of my life, it'd be playing video games. That's an easy like answer. And not only that, but like before, like I was actually like I would get really like when my parents started becoming less strict, I would like still be I'd have a lot of anxiety when it came to going out, but when it came to playing video games and like being with my friends online and talking, like it was just awesome. Like that's just like a way to connect with your friends and just like do something that you like to do and have fun, right?
Mark
like, and you could do that
$15.
all the time.
Thank you, buddy. Okay, so you okay? And Joel, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say I see Buzzy in the chat. It says community, and that's probably it. Like just having that community around you.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's great to build it. Like it is about the community. Just like to make it short, you know, like it. I don't know. I think it's something about, especially like the specific games that we play, but it's something about the teamwork that is like it's so fulfilling when you finally win, and it's because like you guys had good communication, or you just
that.
You know, I don't know how to like really explain it, but it's like when you win because you played well as like a team, like with your friends, it just makes it so much sweeter, the victory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in my personal opinion, I actually don't think it's anything like that. I do agree with the community to some extent, obviously, but what I'm gonna say kind of goes with the community thing. It has to deal like right now throughout quarantine. What is the main reason? Why do we all love playing video games so much? It's because we're playing with our friends online, talking to them every single day, right? Compared to, let's say, people who don't play video games. The only way that they're going to talk to their friends is either by calling them, FaceTiming them, whatever it may be. And you're not going to be doing that all day or for hours on end, right? Us, that we get to play video games, we talk to each other for hours on end while playing video games, being entertained. So that's one thing. It's another way of hanging out with your friends from home and getting to like play with your friends. And the other thing actually that I was going to mention was, for me, I feel like when I play video games, it's almost it's, I don't want to say healing. It's not healing, but it's more of
Yeah.
It's a distraction.
It's a distraction or a stress reliever. I am someone. Both of you guys know I'm not really big on stress. I don't stress a lot. I'm very patient. You never got you. I don't think you guys ever see me mad really often. I don't know, barely. Maybe Joel has had times where he's seen me, but I doubt it. I think that I give a lot of that credit to video games because just going in there and being able to play and talk with my friends, it takes away a lot from me.
I think also one thing that is like very underrated about video games is like just like the competitiveness in us. Like I feel like especially like the games that we play, like a lot of us don't play like single player games like per se, right? Like we want to be like the best and like we want to win each like league match or COD match or whatever we play. Like that's why battle royales are so big, right? People want to show like that they are like better than other people, and I feel like that's another thing, the reason why like it brings people who aren't normally doing competitive things like sports a competitive aspect into their life, which is like nice. And also I see that Gianni says that we're all addicted, and I would like agree to a certain extent, like we definitely are addicted.
Yeah, I agree.
But I also think like the fact that all our friends are like playing with each other, it's more like we like to hang out with each other playing video games, and
I'm more
addicted. Like I don't think I would care. Like if my friends who were like to come over every day to my house, I probably would be playing either less video games or I'll be playing like games like Smash or something, right? Like with them here, and it's like you can't see your friends every day. So
Pedro donated $10. He told me to ask you about your Smash career.
Pedro's my senpai. All right, that's it.
So yeah, I think we're all in agreement because in terms of when I started playing Halo 3 and COD 4, right, what really drove me to go more COD 4, I know a lot of people in here are Halo people as well, and I have no problem with Halo. I got into it a little bit later, but I just felt like COD 4 was more competitive, even though I know Halo 3 back then was bigger than COD 4, I think, competitive wise, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I love video games. I can't like there's nothing.
I feel like at least maybe for me, but I feel like I'm more addicted. I'm definitely addicted, but I'm more addicted to just like hanging out and just talking with my friends than I am like the actual game itself. It's more about
I think, and that's something that like happens a lot. Like a lot of people are like overly competitive, I'd say. And like at this point in my life, like I don't really care. Like I'm just playing for fun and more like talking to my friends than like trying to like actually win a game,
right? Like climb like a rank system.
Exactly. Like I really don't care. Like that's another, like going back to the Daba thing, right? Like I feel like you have to put in so much time to be like the best or like top of like whatever your rating guild or whatever, or like rating team. But like I don't want to do that, right? Like I just want to like just talk to my friends and chill and play, right? Like, and that's something like I actually discovered during quarantine, because like I was like, I want to like climb. Like obviously I've always wanted to climb the diamond and shit, but then like I play like 100 games and I'm just there like, bro, this is not fun because people are just toxic and I don't want that, right? Like,
and at the end of the day, you feel like you wasted your time, right?
Yeah, I completely
feel the same. And it's like, bro, I think I talk to my friends. I talk to ABAD more than I talk to my own girlfriend, I think.
Yikes. I wouldn't say that.
So no, but here, let me clarify. I'm texting my girlfriend throughout the whole day, but I talk to ABAD more like voice to voice. I FaceTime my girlfriend every day, obviously. Let me get that out of the way. If you're listening, listen, I talk to you, okay? It's all right. I'm not trying to fan the flames or anything. But me and ABAD, we talk a lot, bro. We talk a lot on Discord.
Yeah, but I'd like to shout out all our girlfriends though, because I feel like it is kind of tough. Like it's
they're
like
so patient.
I get it. Like I get why our girlfriends get mad. I get it. But I
text my girlfriend all the time, even while we're playing video games. I know that some of you guys go periods of time without answering or anything like that, but I just send out a quick text, here and there. But that's it, bro. It's all you gotta do. My girlfriend knows while I'm playing video games. Like she knows if I'm not answering, it's because I'm playing video games. Luckily, honestly, she doesn't give me a lot of shit for it. I mean, in the beginning of quarantine, she was, because it was all that we were doing. We were just playing video games all day. So I don't blame her. And I think also when, like Joel mentioned earlier, when quarantine started, that's all we wanted to do. We were like, hell yeah, like let's just fucking play video games all day while after work. Like the moment we get off, get on. And I agree, that's what we were doing. And To some
Dude.
extent, I think it's died down a little bit, but we
I
still
felt
get to
so
play
bad
video
for
games.
Gianni. She's like, yes, we finally get to, go see all these movies, go see all these shows. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna play video games with the boys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that sucks too. There's so many shows and movies that I want to watch or catch up on, but at the end of the day, video games just takes that precedence in my head. And if there was nothing to play right now, I would definitely be watching shows. But there's always so many games that are coming out that are so good, and we just can't. So, I was gonna say, let's go to some of the Cog Talk questions that we have. The nitty gritty, juicy stuff. So how do you feel pineapple on pizza? We're getting close to the end of the episode, so I'm gonna shoot these out, and I want you guys to answer them. I know Joel's already answered them, but if he has a take on them, so ABAD, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Hawaiian pizza's pretty good. It's all right.
Hawaiian pizza is fire. It's not all right, but we'll go ahead. I know. Joel,
I don't think
you
it's
agree with
bad.
that.
So
Yeah, I think it's not my thing, but I mean, hey, to each their own. The other day, on Thursday, I had barbecue pizza. And
if you guys ever want to see like go to Blaze Pizza. They have literally every topping you could get, right? Like so.
Yeah.
I don't like barbecue pizza. That's the one pizza I don't like. My girlfriend likes barbecue chicken pizza, and I think it's repugnante, or in English? I forgot what's the fucking word. It gets like you get disgusted with it, like after a little bit because there's so much.
It's overwhelming.
So ABAD, this one might get you in trouble. I'm not sure, but are you a boobs or an ass guy? Tits or ass guy? He's just gonna drink his drink.
Taking a big swig.
He's avoiding it. Ass person.
Okay.
I feel like most guys are ass persons for sure. Or ass people.
Especially in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I feel like
repugnant. Thank you. Repulsive. Repulsive was the word I was looking for. Yeah, that's the word. Okay, this is my favorite question personally to ask because I always want to see everybody's take. Who do you think would win in a fight, grizzly bear or a silverback gorilla?
Look, it's not that hard, right? Grizzly bears it takes it by a mile. Actually, by more than a mile. That's just so it's a grizzly bear is so much stronger. It weighs heavier. It has claws. It fights as a living. It has to fight for its nature. Like gorillas don't fight as it's normal. I don't know. It's just it's not normal for them to fight. So it's definitely a bear. And I see everyone here in chat is starting to realize it's a bear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Abalash, by the way. I haven't seen that guy in a while.
Oh, that's Abalash?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I agree. I think it's not even close, but there are going to be people out there with different opinions. All right, and we got to respect everybody's opinions out there. Okay, let's get
it out the way. Wrong opinions.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Dirks donated $20. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Shout out Dirks.
Yeah. All right, we already talked about who's the LeBron Jordan GOAT. We all agree it's LeBron here. I think there's going to be the good question to end the conversation on: is esports an actual sport in your eyes?
All right. Are you guys ready for this?
ABAD, by the way, I would like to say ABAD is one of the biggest advocates here. So go ahead, ABAD, give your
side. All right.
I didn't say what. I said he's the biggest advocate.
What's the hardest thing to do in any sport, period? It's hitting a baseball, 100%. That is the hardest thing. That's 100%.
I disagree. I think win.
Wait, what?
Maybe you gotta win in the sport, right?
No, but the hardest actual physical activity is to hit a baseball, right? And that requires hand-eye coordination, right? The esports people, the hand-eye coordination with mouse clicks and where your actual doesn't matter what type of game you play, FPS, League, mobiles or whatever, your hand-eye coordination has to be impeccable, right? Those people the amount of Alfredo. The amount of people or the amount of actions that you have to take per second in any video game is actually a staggering amount. For example, you could go see Sports Science did something on League of Legends pro player that he's an average player. He does 200 something actions per minute or something. That's insane. Your brain is working at a faster rate, and you have to be thinking about all these different conditions. Whereas in sports, yes, you're sweating more, right? But all the same elements, all the same elements are still applying, right? You're thinking about the game, right? In baseball, you're thinking about what's the pitch count? What should I do here? What should I do there? In football, you're thinking about what I need to do to execute the play, right? In esports, you're consistently thinking about that for 30 plus minutes straight without a break. Those people, once the play's over, they're mentally reset. Mentality wise, I think esports is way harder. In general, I think the hand-eye coordination is probably equal or more in esports. sure, you're not doing physical activities, and not only that, but like those people are playing this more, like they're training more, and they're like, and if you even look at the stats, right? Like, let's say like you guys are like on the viewership aspects, right? Like League of Legends, like World Championships had more viewers than every major sport finals minus the Super Bowl. Super Bowl blows it out by like a couple, I think 100 million or something.
Mhm.
But like this year, it's on pace to like beat the Super Bowl numbers in terms of viewership. So yeah, like it's hard to argue. Like it really is hard to argue that esports is not an actual sport. And if you look at it, also a lot of major sports companies and like teams are investing in these esports, and millions of dollars. In League of Legends, in the North American scene at least, the cheapest player is 300K. Like the average player is 300K. So those numbers, and it could go upwards to like 1 point, or there's actually a player being paid 2 million, right? So
Mhm.
those numbers are actually countering like hockey numbers. Like I think like the most of hockey players, like their contract is like what, 100K? No, not
I don't
100.
know. I don't
Sorry,
know much about hockey.
no, not
so-
100K. No, I'm sorry. Like it's like 10K or 10 mil. Sorry. So those numbers are like slowly rising and like starting to rival a lot of like traditional sports. So yeah,
I mean, you guys know me. I do think esports is, to an extent, it is a sport. For the same reasons that ABAD's mentioning, I think besides the physical aspect of it, but then you go into it and you're like, you could ask about chess. Is chess a sport? It's the same topic, right? I'm just playing devil's advocate here because obviously my decision is yes, it is a sport. But then you do ask about chess. Is chess a sport? Would you consider chess a sport, or is it more of a competitive like tournament type thing? Because that's what at the end of the day it is.
okay, but chess. All right, I see the argument there, but I would consider chess more of a mind game, like a mental game. Because there in esports, like in a lot of these other like video games, and I take League mostly like because that's what I know the most. Like the amount of like hand-eye and like just the amount of things you need to do to play the game successfully at a high level is like it's a lot more than what you need to do for like, let's say like people argue poker is a sport because it's shown on ESPN. Like obviously not, but like it is a mind game, right? Like you have to be like aware of like the situation and play your cards right. And like chess the same way. Like chess is like one of the hardest things to play in the world, period, like successfully. So I wouldn't say those are actual esports or like sports considered, but
I think to some degree also it matters how organized it is. Which, by the way, hold on, Fernie donated $10. He said BLM bitch. Also say the donation total. The donation total is on the screen right below me. It's 185 total right now. That's crazy.
Nice.
So thank you. Yeah, I think to an extent you need to have somewhat of a league, right? It needs to be an organized type of competition, because yeah, you can have a competition for chess, and you know they'll probably have worlds maybe for chess if I'm not mistaken, because I don't know, they gotta have things like that. But these are,
I mean,
those are competitions. But when you have a
Yeah.
league and you have a season where you're going against other organized teams, right? I think that also takes a lot. You got to put that into perspective, not including the fact with everything that ABAD mentioned about, you know, mental aspect of it, the mental tolls, because at the end of the day, it's not as physically draining, right? But it is as mentally draining as it is physically.
Also, there's a lot of like actual physical injuries that come in with esports. And I know people are gonna laugh at this, but like carpal tunnel and all this stuff, like these are actual injuries people get because like the amount of times they actually like click or like move their mouse in a certain speed or whatever. Like there's still injuries in
right.
esports as well. Like it's
Well,
not.
I think like if you look at like the definition of sports, right?
Mm.
I'm going to read you the definition. An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment, right? If we eliminate that physical exertion, let's just eliminate that, and it says an activity involving skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. I think everybody can agree that video games, like let's say League of Legends, COD, Fortnite, anything, is a sport in that sense. It's skill and it's with the team, and you compete with others.
And I would honestly argue that it is physical exertion. Like
To an
And
extent,
that's where I
yes.
was getting to, you know,
100%, yeah.
because okay, think about other sports, right? Golf. I mean, how much more physical exertion do golf like players give to the sport than just normal like video game players, for example? The physical exertion level is not even that much different. And another one, bowling.
Pedro said take a few golf swings.
Out of all the people here,
No,
I
no.
think Joel's the most knowledgeable in golf, right? So
Well, okay, even golf, if you don't want to use golf, bro, bowling is on ESPN, and poker. Poker is a
Listen.
different that involves no physical exertion.
I'm
Bowling.
not gonna
Think
lie to
about
you.
how much.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When you have after one game of bowling for me, maybe, or after a night of bowling for me, my forearm is on fire the next day. Like it's a little sore, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I mean, you don't and I'm sorry, but when I go bowling, sometimes I start sweating from how much I'm trying to throw that ball. Like it does take an exertion on you, like that bowling and golf both. But
you'll agree it's a million
don't.
times more skill than it is physical exertion.
Bowling is without a doubt, everything has to deal with skill. Like bowling, golf,
Well,
all that is skill.
Yeah, but it's like a lot more skill involved than compared to physical exertion. And it's the same thing with esports, you know? It's a lot of it is skill, but if you want to look at the physical exertion part of it, I mean, like these people are processing information and transferring that to their hands within milliseconds. And I think the physical exertion comes in there. But
and
I mean,
for
really,
all the people who say that video games are not like doesn't do any physical exertion, I want you to play Smash for more than 2 hours and then say that you're not tired after at the end of it. The amount of like, it's just that shit gets you tired, bro. I'd argue against that for sure.
So moving on to like the closing part of this, right? ABAD, what would you say is the best memory you have of me or Joel or both of us? Maybe one for each, whatever.
Man, I didn't think of one for Joel, but I know yours for sure. All right, so
I thought you were gonna say the
home run thing. The home run thing is definitely like one of them, top two. But the top number one was I think this was what, junior year, maybe senior year, or maybe like early senior year, junior year. We're getting ready for a game, and we had to be back at the school like at, I think it was like at 3 or something. So like I live really close to the school, so we came over to the house, and it was me, Perdomus, and our friend Justin.
Oh my god, bro.
And Justin, Justin likes to fuck around a lot, and he sends Javi, I think it was an ass pic.
He was in the
bathroom. And he was in the bathroom, and then Javi's in my room. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" So then I see him like physically get up and go to the corner of my room, like pull down his pants and take a picture of his, his dick.
Whoa.
And
okay, hold on.
First you should say, wait, hold on. First of all, you should say it's his cock because it's cock talk.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's funny. No, what happened was I was laying on your bed while you were playing games.
Okay. I can see how that
I pulled my shorts back a little bit and I took a picture of the tip, not of the whole thing. Let's take it easy, all right? Okay, go ahead, continue.
To be fair, I never saw the picture and I'm glad I didn't, all right?
Yeah.
And let's just say he misclicked the person he sent it to. And yeah, that picture didn't go to Justin. It went to someone else. So that was easily the top, like the funniest thing I've ever seen, like in my entire life. Like that was just like I couldn't stop laughing for like the whole day.
The reaction of that, because it was like the moment that I clicked it. Like I'm talking about, if this is a screen, the moment that my fingertip literally touched it enough for it to register was the moment I realized that I had sent it to the wrong person. And it did not, like, I screamed. Buzzy donated $20 of the stream. Love the cause, BLM. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I went to the completely wrong person. It went to a girl that I was talking to at that time. Why does my camera keep resetting? But yeah, oh crap, I just deactivated my camera. Yeah, it was bad. I'm not gonna lie, I screamed so loud and I was like, what was it I had said? I was like, oh my fucking god, this is to the wrong person. And you just hear Justin from the bathroom like cracking up in the bathroom. And he couldn't stop laughing. That was good. You don't have anything for Joel? You don't got a good memory of Joel? I mean, I know.
What do you mean?
guys...
Every memory I have with Joel is a good memory.
This guy, bro.
Come on now. I think with Joel, bro, best memories with Joel is just going over to his house, just chilling by the pool with a couple beers. We're just having a good times. Like, there's literally like, I can't pinpoint, because the thing is that Javi moments / Perdomus moments are like, they're so noticeable. There's so many. Like, I could name like 50, and like they're all like, I don't think I have one of those, like a list like that for like Joel, because like, I don't know. Like I
because I don't do stupid shit.
yeah. I don't want to say that, but yeah, like that's kind of true. Like
that's true.
Like, bro, I could name 100. I could name 100 for Javi. So like, if you guys want to hear more, tune into twitch.tv/ABAD. No, I'm just kidding.
So I want to go ahead and thank both of you, obviously, for coming. Joel, I'll see you here again on the next episode. ABAD, thank you for being a guest on this very important Cock Talk episode. Episode 2, the BLM movement episode is what I like to call it. We've raised $205. That is amazing. Thank you so much to everybody who's donated. I really appreciate that. I'm going to be matching that. I'll probably just throw in the whole 250 at this point. It doesn't even matter. So in total, it'll be $455. And we're going to go ahead and get that matched by Apple as well, donating that. So
before anyone leaves, I know everyone's tired of the quarantine. So if anyone wants to come get food at my house, you guys are welcome to come.
Sounds good, ABAD. All right. So yeah, thank you guys both for coming. Thank you to everyone who showed up today. Donated as well. That support means a lot to me. It's been a crazy 2 days for the channel, and I appreciate everyone who has come to support. The donations today, the subscriptions today, the follows, Brandon for the subscription, Dirk for the subscription. Thank you guys so much. Okay, thank you guys again for coming, and stay tuned and follow me on the socials, so when we announce episode 3 of Cock Talk, you guys can figure that out, or you guys will just see my spam of notifications that I'll be putting out there. So again, thank you everyone for coming, and good night. Everyone say bye.
Peace.
Bye.